Okay, so the holidays are coming, and so I decided to make turkey stuffing, or you could stuff anything with it actually, but this is for the turkey. Okay, so I don't have a turkey here, obviously. I don't want to make a whole turkey before the holidays come, but I'm making this stuffing, and I'll tell you what to do with the turkey and also with the brown gravy, how I make it. Okay, so what I have here is a little bit over a pound of sweet sausage. If you like hot, you could use hot. No fennel. I'm going to remove it from the casing and I'm going to brown it. The rest of the stuff here is 2 cups of cheese, 2 cups of chicken broth. Just remember 2 cups, 2 cups of ricotta, and 2 cups of mozzarella cubes. I've got in here 6 cloves of garlic and a good handful of parsley chopped up. 6 cups of breadcrumbs, plain breadcrumbs. And when we're about to start, I'll show you, I have 3/4 of a cup to about a cup of oil in that pan. And I'll show you what I'm going to do after I remove the sausage from the casing. To the next part. Okay, so this is not 4 nice size sausage links, but they didn't have the loose sausage. If your butcher or your supermarket has the loose sausage, you could use the loose sausage instead of taking the casing off, which I usually buy, but when I went this time, they didn't have the loose. It's the holidays, so what happens is they run out of things. They have to stock up really, really quickly. It's the Chicos. I got to go to the Chicos and tell them they should pay me for advertising their store. Don't you agree? Okay. But this is not hard to do. It's very simple. It's about a little bit over a pound. Very simple. You know, my mother, as I don't know if I mentioned it before, but she was a butcher. And she taught me how to make sausage. And I know how to make it, but it's a long process. And I would have to make a whole bunch and then freeze it. I made it once a long time ago, and my husband's friend, Tony Duddo, he couldn't believe I made fresh sausage. You made this? I said, yes, I made it. He said, wow, that's something. Oh, well. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to brown this, and then I'll come back and show you what I do with the oil, with the garlic and whatever I put in there.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so you have to break up the sausage in the pan to get it as small as you can. If you have the loose sausage, you don't have to do it as much because it's loose, of course. But I try to break it up and get it browned. Okay, so the sausage has been cooking about, I don't know, 5-6 minutes. Just when it gets brown. You don't have to cook it to death because it's going to cook in the turkey. And by the way, this recipe is for a turkey that's over 20 pounds. So I'd say 20 to 26 pounds. And you might even have some left over, which you could put in a little pan and put in the oven for, depends on how big it is or how much is left over. But cool this off. And then I'm going to show you what I do with this. I'm going to heat up the oil. All right, so I have my oil. It's heated up. And the garlic and the parsley. I like to do the garlic and the parsley because it takes the flavor and it really makes it come out in the oil. If you put it in raw, you still get the flavor, but not as good as when you saute in the oil first. I'm going to add the 6 cups of breadcrumbs, plain breadcrumbs. You see you got your dressing, and I mean your seasoning in here. So we're going to put the 6 cups. Just make it. I was asking my son, you think I'm going to fit this in the pan? Well, here it is.
Well, just made it.
I just made it, is right. That's why I like the 14-inch. This is 12-inch. So what I'm going to do is mix this in. And when it's all mixed in, I'm going to put it in the big bowl there and add all my other ingredients. So I use about 3/4 of a cup to a cup. More like a cup, I say. because the oil, you don't want your stuffing dry. I don't like dry stuffing. I don't know about you, but I put a lot of moisture in there. That's why I have the chicken broth, I have the ricotta. It makes it really moist. Okay, so I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna put it in the bowl. Ah, there you go. You could mix it better in the bowl. That pan was a little small. Use a 14-inch. Now I'm gonna add my ricotta. Actually, I should add the eggs first. 6 eggs beaten. My mother taught me to get every drop, even with the tomatoes. Rinse the cans out, get every drop of the tomatoes. 2 cups of ricotta, 2 cups of grated cheese, pecorino romano, lugardella, whichever you like. I don't add salt because the cheese is salty, the sausage is salty.
Let me get salt.
Yeah, you know, then it's too salty. Now I'm going to add the 2 cups of chicken broth. If by chance it's too moist, just add a dash of more breadcrumbs. What I do with the turkey is I separate the skin from the breast. I put my hand in there and I separate the skin from the breast. I take some butter, chopped garlic, and I put it inside between the skin and the breast. And then I take some of it and I put it around the whole turkey on the top. I stuff it and then I cover it with foil. And then you cook your turkey depending on how big it is. But like I said, this is plenty for over 20 pounds. Even up to 30, because I always have leftover. If you're having a smaller turkey, cut the recipe in half. I also will be putting underneath my recipe, my brown gravy recipe. What I do is, when I finish stuffing the turkey and putting the butter and all of that, I put it in a pan and I put chicken broth, a couple of cups of chicken broth, a cut up onion, and 2 carrots chopped up in the broth. And then when it's done, there's the recipe underneath the stuffing recipe that'll tell you what to do to make the brown gravy. It's scrumptioso. Okay, so this is getting pretty mixed. I'm gonna put the sausage in first. Oh God, this is delicious. I get this mixed in. I didn't want to put the mozzarella because with the sausage is a little bit hot. It's mostly cooled off, but I don't want the mozzarella to melt until it's in the turkey. And now you could put the mozzarella in. 2 cups of mozzarella. You can put whatever cheese you want. I happen to like mozzarella. When I find a recipe, like if I want to make something, I go online and I look for the recipe and I pretty much, follow the recipe, but I always make it my own. It's pretty mixed up, just like a lot of people I know. Okay. All right, now you butter a pan. I spray it. I like to spray. I use the spray. The butter is extra calories. Not that this is dietetic, but now, of course, you would be stuffing the turkey, but I'm going to put it all in this pan here. It might all fit, it might not. And then we're going to put it in the oven for about 45 minutes. If you make it the day before, if you make the stuffing the day before, don't stuff the bird though. That's not good, not healthy to do that. But if you make the stuffing the night before and then you're going to stuff the bird, it's okay because the bird's going to be in there for a long time. However, if you're going to put it on the side, you should warm it up a little bit. See, this is a lot of stuffing, but it just about fits in here. Then you could sprinkle, if you're just gonna make it in the pan, you could sprinkle some breadcrumbs or panko if you want a crispy top on top. This is good.
It looks good.
It is good. So, 350 for 45 minutes. If it's warm, if it's not warm, I'd leave it in an hour. So, in the oven, 350, 45 minutes, and I'll be back later when I take it out. Okay, so the stuffing is ready. And by the way, this is spaghetti pie, which I have a recipe for on my website also. So let's take out the stuffing. This is enough for a 25 pound turkey. And if you have a little left over, just put it in a little dish and bake it. It's delicious. I hope you try it. And don't forget to subscribe and click on the button next to the subscribe button so that you'll get automatic updates and automatic videos. I was having a little bit of a problem with the YouTube. A lot of people complain they're not getting the updates, but maybe because you haven't clicked on the bell. So click on the bell. When you hit the subscribe button, click on the bell right next to it. Look at this beautiful, it's like a casserole. And I made brown gravy. The recipe for the brown gravy is underneath the recipe for the stuffing. So you can make it, when you make your turkey, chop up an onion and a couple of carrots, put it with some chicken broth in the pan, and then when the turkey's done, you take it out and you make the brown gravy with the drippings and the carrots and the onions in there. It's delicious. So until next time, I'm perspiring. Have a great Thanksgiving, and I'll post another video when it's over. And don't forget to buy my cookbook. And also the wanted teas. If you want a nice tea, check it out, thewantedteas.com. My daughter-in-law's laughing at me. Okay, until next time, have a great Thanksgiving. Okay, guys, give us your opinion of the stuffing.
Honestly, the best stuffing I've ever eaten in my life.
Best stuffing I've ever had. Personally.
What about you, James?
It's so good. I'm like comatose already.
James is appeared in, what is it? The Hard Rock?
School of Rock.
School
Yes,
of Rock.
Rock.
What was your character's name?
Marco.
Marco. And what about you?
Not in School of Rock.
You weren't in the School of Rock.
I play softball.
I'm just in love with the stuffing.
He's in love with the stuffing.
Just here for the stuffing.
So's my son.